making moves, 2020 teams, and salary cap? Let's jump into this. What is up, Finn fans? Today, I got some news that broke, some roster moves that we did. We now officially know who our away and home opponents are. I'll talk about that after the moves. And then, comment of the day, when you guys asked about the salary cap, it was announced how much money is going to be next year. And when you guys want to know how much do we got? So let's jump into the video. First, let's talk about the moves that were made. The Miami Dolphins have signed defensive back Nate Brooks. He was on the practice squad for the New England Patriots. Linebacker Jamal Davis on the practice squad for the Tennessee Titans. And then we were awarded tackle Adam Pankey from Green Bay. Green Bay waived him, scooped him up. So we bring in 3. What does that mean? You got to get rid of 3. Only can have 53 men on the roster. So we place cornerbacks Ryan Lewis and Ken Webster on injured reserve. So a lot of people have been asking if Devontae Parker and Albert Wilson are going on injured reserve. I don't think so. I think that they'll play next week. I think that, they got knocked out because of a concussion. It depends on the severity of the concussion, but I don't think that they will not play next week. So there's that. Also, I think Devontae Parker would fight the world to play these last 3 games so he can get over 1,000 yards receiving. And we've waived running back Zach Zenner. ZZ, I would have called him. But yeah, that's the move that we made today. Like I told you guys, Brian Flores, he even said it in his press conference a few weeks ago. He is constantly combing the waivers and practice squads and stuff, trying to pick out those gems, picking out guys that he thinks can fit his scheme, guys that he thinks are fighters like the team is, little bulls out there, bringing them in and doing their thing. So expect more of this, especially in the offseason, especially undrafted guys. Expect a lot of unknown named guys. The Dolphins are bringing in a Canadian Football League defensive lineman as well for tryouts named Willie Jefferson. He is scheduled to come work out for the Dolphins, 28 years old, does really well in Canadian Football League, maybe another Cam Wake, if we were only so lucky. We'll see how that pans out. But from the title of this video, let's talk about 2020, and we finally know who the Miami Dolphins are playing home and who they're playing away. Now, before you guys go and comment below, we already know who their home and away opponents are, Doug. We know who the next 4 years are. Yes, but now it's officially locked in that we will be last place in the division, which means we officially know who the other opponents are. Sassy mouths. But no, in all seriousness, the way it works is every 4 years we play, in another 4 years in 2023, we will be playing the NFC East again. It's every 4 years we play the same guys, but then there's certain teams that we play that are in the same place as us in their division as in ours. So let me just jump into this, right? So 2020, our home teams. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about the Buffalo Bills, New York Jets, and New England Patriots. That's the home and away teams. Always is. But our home teams are the Kansas City Chiefs, the LA Chargers, the LA Rams, and the Seattle Seahawks, right? And then the last place team, or whatever place we finish, which is going to be last, the last place team in the AFC North, which is the Cincinnati Bengals. So that's the home team. And then the away teams we will be playing is the Denver Broncos, has on there Oakland Raiders, but they will be the Nevada Raiders, San Francisco 49ers, Arizona Cardinals, and the last place team, because we're finishing last, and the AFC South, a la the Jacksonville Jaguars. So that is the schedule for next year. So we got the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Rams, the Seattle Seahawks, and Cincinnati home, and then we'll be traveling to Denver, Las Vegas, San Fran, Arizona, and Jacksonville. Which, when it comes to traveling, it's not that bad. But I haven't talked about something else. But it's not that bad when it comes to traveling. The fact that the Chargers and the Rams have to come from LA to Miami to play the Dolphins really bodes well for the Miami Dolphins. The Chiefs game scares me. Seattle game scares me. 49ers game scares me. That's it. Like, if I really look at this and like unbiasedly look at this and say which teams really scare me to play them next year, it's the Chiefs, Rams, Seattle, 49ers. And that's it. Denver's not great. Arizona's not great. Jacksonville's not great. Cincinnati's not great. Oakland's not great. And the Chargers aren't great. So you look at this and you're like, off the top of your head right now, you're like, it's not too bad to me. It really isn't too bad to me, especially because of the way the team's playing now with no talent. We're going to have draft picks, free agents, all that stuff. People will be accustomed to the Flores and all. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good to me. I honestly think we'll be better record-wise than we are now. We have to be. 3 wins so far. Got three games left. So, yeah. But then when you look at the home games, you're like, well, yeah, those aren't bad. But the Miami Dolphins and the Atlanta Falcons have already agreed to play in London and Mexico City. Now, I know a lot of people are probably going to be upset about it. I'm upset about it. I don't think it's fair for the Miami Dolphins to lose a home game to play overseas, but that's just the Dolphins, what the Dolphins do. They do it so they can have Super Bowls in their stadium. It sucks. The Dolphins and the Giants were the first ones to play in London, so I would expect the Dolphins to be the ones to go to London, but personally, I want the Dolphins to play in Mexico City. It's not that much of a travel. It's not overseas, and it's right there. I think it should be the Chargers-Dolphins in Mexico City. That's what I think the game should be, but it's probably not going to be. It's probably going to be the Bengals and the Dolphins in London. They're like, hey, you both suck. We'll just send you to London. Who cares what happens over there? Because they don't care. But that is essentially what's going on with the schedule. Be sure to comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you're upset over the fact that the Dolphins agreed to play either in Mexico City or over in London. Let me know when you're hearing about this. As of right now, the teams we have right now, again, things will change, teams will change. A lot of people thought that the Cleveland Browns were going to be the best thing, win the division, go to the Super Bowl. No one's thinking that anymore. Let me know what you think about playing home, Chargers, Chiefs, Rams, Seattle, Cincy, away, Denver, Raiders, 49ers, Arizona, and Jacksonville. Comment below. Let me know. And we get to one of you guys' comments of the day. Now, this comment comes from Jeffrey Whitcomb, and he says, what is our cap? Essentially, he's asking, what is our cap up to now? 140 million cap space? The reason he asks that is because it broke that the estimated cap space for 2020 has officially been released, I guess you could say. We won't know until the meeting, the owners meeting in Denver, in Dallas, what it actually is. But there was a rough estimate that was released. Now, last year, the cap space was at $188.2 million. And they're saying that next year, it's going to be either 196.8, between 196.8 and $201.2 million. So it's going to go up about $10 million. So obviously, us as Dolphin fans, we have cut a lot of fat. We want to know what is our cap space going to be next year with the inflation of the cap. Now, I took it upon myself to go on Sports Track, where you can do, see the cap space, you can make cuts, you can do that stuff. I went up upon myself to go on there. I made a few cuts. I made 3 cuts. And I wanted to see what our cap space would be after cutting these 3 players. Now, the 3 players I cut, Rashad Jones, I cut. Now, he hasn't played all season. And it just makes sense for him to go to another team. It just doesn't make sense for him to stay. Albert Wilson, I cut as well. It's just with Preston Williams showing up doing his thing, Devontae Parker showing that he, when he's healthy, can still do his thing. Again, I don't see this concussion as something to knock on him on his health. It's a bad hit he took to his head. There's nothing you could do about that. But you're starting to see these receivers, even Allen Hurns, I really start to see that Albert Wilson is expendable, especially because they gave Jakeem Grant that contract extension. So Albert Wilson and Harris, the defensive end, complete bust. I see him seeing you later. So after cutting Rashad Jones, Albert Wilson, and Harris, the Miami Dolphins next year will be at $124 million in cap space. That is a lot of cheddar. That is a lot of green. It's a lot of lettuce to do a lot with. So like I said, if the Dolphins were to cut those 3 players, which you can kind of see happening. Those are probably the 3 that I can probably 90% guarantee that the Dolphins are going to cut. We've got 124 million. Now the Indianapolis Colts are going to have way more money. I think the Dolphins right now are 3rd in the NFL in cap space. So the Oakland Raiders, and I think the Cleveland Browns still have a good amount of money. But Dolphins are gonna have a lot of money, and then there's teams that need to that need to clear up cap space. The Cowboys need to decide what they're doing with Dak Prescott. I think Byron Jones will be able to walk, and I'd like the Dolphins to go after him. I'm gonna make a video talking about essentially who I want the Dolphins to go after and then draft and stuff like that. But I haven't made a draft video yet because a lot of things can change, especially where we're picking and who's going to declare and who's not going to declare. So that's why I haven't made a draft video. But thank you so much for the comment of the day. I hope that this helped you guys realize that, hey, we're going to have a lot of cap space to do a lot of things. But thank you so much for the comment. Now, I want to talk about the Patreon, Shake Money, my new Patreon. Thank you so much, my dude. I'm trying to do a collab with a Giants YouTuber so I can get that done for Friday. It's because of Shake Money reaching out to him, going on to his live stream and dropping my name and saying you should collab with him. Thank you for not only doing that, but for being a Patreon. I greatly appreciate that. Speaking of the Giants game, me and my father will be at the Giants game this Sunday here in New Jersey. I know a few of you guys have said that you are going to the Giants game, so I'm going to live stream a little bit in the parking lot, so hopefully I can meet some of you guys. You can be on the live stream, maybe take a picture, do some of that. So be sure, I hope to see you guys there. But other than that, be sure to follow me on Twitter, retweeting things that things break, the roster moves that we made, the cap space, all this stuff. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Also, be sure to check out the Bit Boys. We had some great video games come out earlier today. Great stuff. Brand spanking new Shovel Knight, so be sure to go over there. If you like the video game stuff, if you're interested in that and you think we're funny, hit the subscribe button. Don't do it if you don't like us, because it doesn't matter. You need to watch it. But other than that, give this video a thumbs up. $120-something million in cap space. We now know who we're playing home and away, and we're making roster moves. It's a busy day for the Miami Dolphins today, and it's only going to get busier. This offseason is going to be crazy, so give a thumbs up for that. Be sure to check out Sportscaster and DolphinsTalk.com, two great sites that I'm affiliated with. Love working with them. Be sure to check them out. Also, hit that subscribe button. Like I said, this offseason is going to be crazy town, and you are going to get videos from me minimum 3 times a week. Every time news breaks, you get it from me. I got a ton of videos planned, like this one. If something happens, I make a video for you. I got mock drafts. I got my prospect videos. I got so much planned. So be sure to hit that subscribe button. Other than that, I will see you guys Thursday with the picks video with my dad. But like usual, stay classy. Fins up.